Hello again, and this is the second session of poem work. Now, last time we asked you to practice saying aloud the poem about 10 times or more, and we're going to consolidate on that good work you've done so far today by having a think about how we can really make the sounds come alive to help with our articulation and clarity, as well as good breath support. Now, last time we asked you to have a think about all the sights and sounds and smells, the 3 S's, that we can associate to bring the words to life. So we're using sights, literally through your eyes, the sounds through your ears, and the smells, and also the senses by touching and feeling as well, that we can apply to each word in this poem to really let our imaginations communicate with our voices to get the greatest sounds we can out to help everyone understand what we are saying. So, what about sounds? Yeah? Sounds of the seaside. I'm sure we all came out with quite a lot of different things that we associate with the seaside. I had a few. Perhaps you could add to this, or maybe add mine to yours. I had seagulls, first of all, which we had at the end of the video, didn't we? We heard some seagulls. And the sound itself of the seashore, the waves perhaps gently coming in to the sea, or perhaps more roughly on a stormier day. And I think in the poem itself, maybe the waves are a bit more rough than smooth, but that's up to you to decide. What other sounds did we have? Maybe some dogs barking on the beach excitedly, children playing, screaming as their toes touch the water for the first time, as we mentioned before. What other sounds did you come up with? Yeah? Lots of different sounds. Just people having a good time. Different sounds of the sea. Yeah? Maybe a foghorn from a lighthouse in the distance. There could be all sorts of different sounds. Yeah? Lots of different things going on at the seaside. So if we close our eyes, sometimes we can almost hear the different sounds of the sea. Lots of amazing sounds. I'm sure you can add a lot to the list we've already got. And with the poem, we were asking to think of sounds for every line, every word, because it's all relevant. Every bit of detail helps create a great performance. So lots of sounds already. And what else? What about we've got the sounds. What did we see? What do we see when we literally see the sea? Yeah, great visuals. A stormy sea, a rough sea, a smooth sea, a calm sea, blue sky, grey sky, sand or rocks. Maybe a crab or two scuttling across. Yeah. Maybe some fish in the sea. A boat bobbing up and down in the sea. Yeah. People having a picnic on the seaside. People flying a kite. Yeah. People throwing a stick for their dog to chase. Yeah. People playing games, throwing a frisbee. People eating a hot dog on the beach. People tidying up litter on the beach. Maybe a lifeguard looking out very carefully. Maybe a lifeboat being launched into the sea. Lots of different things we can see at the sea. We can see some seaweed that's been washed up. Maybe some jellyfish. All sorts of things. So there's lots of different things we can see as well. Oh, and talking of seaweed, what about smells? What sort of smells do we have at the seaside? The smell of seaweed. Yeah. The smell of the sea. The sea's full of salt, so it has that kind of salty taste to it sometimes. If you come out from the sea, you can smell it on yourself. What other smells? Fresh smells? Maybe a bit pongy somewhere. Yes. Maybe some food's been left behind by some people who don't respect the environment. Some food rotting on the ground. Yeah. All sorts of different smells. Nice fresh smells usually though, aren't there? And what about touching? You know, when you touch the sand, you have the sand running through your fingertips. Nice sensation of the touch. And the touch of the water, of course. It's freezing cold, usually in the North Sea, where I go. Freezing cold water that feels very cold, but refreshing as well. Yeah? Maybe the sand's warm because the sun's been heating the sand up. Yeah? Maybe the sensation of licking an ice cream. Yeah? All sorts of nice different sensations of touch as well and sense. Yeah? So we can hear, we can see, we can feel, we can touch. Yeah? All sorts of different things we can do. All sorts of sensations filling our imaginations to help us make this poem come alive. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the poem very slowly and make every word come to life as much as possible. So I'd like to make sure you've warmed up properly, and if you haven't, just press pause on this tape, warm yourself up properly, vocally, and then we can begin the exercise again. Okay, so we're ready to begin the exercise by going through the poem word by word, very slowly, and for just now, I want us to just work in a very big way on each word. And don't worry if you pull a few funny faces, making each word come alive. Yeah, it's to get our muscles, remember all those 42 muscles we have in our face? There's 42 of them apparently. We want to get those muscles to come alive and really make them work. Almost if you've got a big chewy toffee in your mouth and you're trying to get every single word out, but very clearly with good diction and clarity. Yeah? So we're going to do that today, and then we'll have a think about what we're going to do next. Okay? So, ready? Let's just take it very slowly, and you can repeat it after me. Yeah? Big, big pronunciations, big bit of clarity too. Get those teeth and tongue, yeah, get them working. Okay? So let's just take it slowly, repeating after me. Off we go. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by, and the wheels kick and the wind's song and the white sail shaking and a grey mist on the sea's face and a grey dawn breaking. How is that? Good. So you're really working your muscles as much as you can, yeah, in your face, really getting that clarity. Every g, t, b, g, o, getting all the consonants and vowels really clear and precise. And as you do this exercise again, I'd like you to really think, as you say each word, of the images and the sights and the sounds, because it really helps feed your imagination that then feeds your voice and your breath support as well. Yeah. So really, as we go through this again, think as you say each word, think of what you see, think of what you smell, yeah, and what you touch and what you hear. Think of all those sensations as we do each word, and let's make each word even bigger now. Yeah, and don't worry about how daft it might sound, but the more clarity we get, the better. Okay, so shall we do that again? So, you know what to do. Repeating after me each word. We'll just take it slow, take our time, keep our breath supported with good posture. Don't forget your posture, yeah? Okay, off we go again. Okay. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by, and the wheels kick and the wind's song and the white sail shaking, and a grey mist on the sea's face, and a grey dawn breaking. Very good. Did you feel how the imagery and the sounds and the smells, all the senses, can you feel how they really help you with your voice? The more you see it, the more your audience will see and hear it too, by the way. So really use those images, those sounds and smells that you worked so hard on preparing last week to help push you through now with this poem. You're doing very, very well. Now, what I would suggest you do now is pause this video in a second and just practice doing that exercise we've just done 3 more times. Yeah, 3 more times, really going for the sounds that is made up from your images of what you hear, what you see and touch, really using those senses to fill those words. So let's do that 3 more times. And when you've done that, just start this video again and we'll continue, okay? Good. So you've done that at least 3 more times now. So now not only are you getting much, much better, you're also by repetition learning the lines. You'll probably find you're looking at the script of this poem less and less. And that's how we learn lines. It's just practice, practice, practice. That's very good work. Now, next session, we're going to look at the actual phrasing of this poem. Yeah? When we talk about phrasing, we're looking each line at a time, and where we come to a natural end, where we take a breath, where there's a new thought process, a new idea comes to your mind. And what we're going to do is we're going to practice really getting our breath support, because you've been working so hard with breath support. We can really tell the difference. Your breath is fully supporting, yeah, all that noise that's coming out from this door into your expandable house, yeah. You've been working so hard, but we want to get the phrasing sorted out now. So that means we can take a big breath in and sustain us right through to the end of each line. And then we're allowed to take a breath because the writer has put a comma at the end of each line. And that means he gives us permission to take a breath. So we don't have to do all 4 lines in one breath. We're just aiming for clarity and diction and strength and stamina and discipline by being able to go from the beginning of the line to the end of the line without having to take a breath in between. So next time we'll be working on the phrasing. So what I'd like you to do for next time is to really make sure before you watch the video of session 3 that you really are fully warmed up, done really good vocal exercises, especially the counting one, where we count in, counting into 6, then out to 12 eventually. You'll have done that one. Yeah, really working on getting the breath support really fully sustained and thinking about the phrasing of how we're going to do this poem. I'd also like you to think about what sort of mood you think you're in when you go down to the sea with this poem. Is the writer in a happy mood or a sad mood? Or you're not quite sure? Have a real think about what sort of mood you're in when you are going to do this poem. And also, what is the weather like, yeah? What's the weather like when you're going to say this poem? What mood is the character in when he says this? And making sure we do proper vocal exercise, warm up before we come to this session. Okay, so I'll see you in the next session. And keep practicing, keep repeating. You're doing very good work. Thank you.